My dear friends,
Welcome, my friend.
my brothers and
It
sisters
is
in this
good
journey
to
of
see you
faith,
again.
lend me your hearts for a moment. For over 2 decades, I have had the profound privilege of sitting with souls in the quiet stillness of the confessional, in the shared vulnerability of spiritual direction, and in the unspoken communion of prayer. In that time, I have witnessed a sacred pattern emerge, a phenomenon so consistent yet so deeply personal that it can only be the fingerprint of God Himself. It begins not with a thunderous voice from the heavens, but with a whisper in the very marrow of your bones. It begins with a weariness that sleep cannot mend, a restlessness that the world cannot soothe, and a quiet ache in the heart that feels both heavy and holy. Have you felt it? That strange, persistent feeling that you are being stretched from the inside out? If you have, I am here to tell you, you are not falling apart. You are being called
In
together.
times of trouble,
This is the
remember,
great secret,
hope
the
is a
divine
light
paradox that
guides
our
us
modern
through
world,
darkness.
in its relentless pursuit of comfort and ease, has forgotten. We are taught to diagnose every discomfort, to numb every ache, to silence every disquieting feeling with noise, distraction, or medication. We label it stress, anxiety, burnout. And while those things are certainly real, there is a deeper current moving beneath the surface for those God has chosen for a greater purpose. What if I told you that the very sensations you've been trying to escape are, in fact, the signs of His imminent arrival? What if the unsettling shift within you is not a sign of illness, but the first tremors of a holy renovation? This, my friends, is the divine ache of becoming. It is the feeling of your soul making room for more of God, and your body, a faithful and sacred vessel, is the first to register the change. Listen closely. The Lord is a master artisan, and you are His masterpiece in progress. When a sculptor receives a block of marble, he does not simply admire it. He takes up his chisel and hammer. He begins to strike, to chip away, to remove every piece that is not the statue he envisions. To an outside observer, this process looks violent, destructive. The marble is being broken. But the sculptor sees the angel trapped within, and he knows that what feels like breaking is actually the act of liberation. So it is with God. The tiredness you feel is not merely physical. It is the fatigue of letting go of old structures, of shedding layers of self-protection you no longer need. The tightness in your chest or shoulders is not just tension. It is your body bracing itself, preparing to bear a new and holy weight. The shivers, the sudden warmth in your hands, the tears that fall for no apparent reason, these are not random physiological quirks. They are the physical manifestations of the Holy Spirit at work, rewiring your very being, calibrating you to a divine frequency. Our faith is not an abstract, intellectual exercise. It is incarnational. God chose to enter our world in a body of flesh and blood. He sanctified the physical. Therefore, we must never fall for the ancient heresy that the body is merely a cage for the spirit, something to be endured or escaped. No, your body is a sacred space, a temple set apart by God Himself. And when He begins a profound work in your spirit, He honors you by including your entire being in the process. He is not just preparing your mind to understand new truths. He is preparing your lungs to breathe the celestial air, your hands to do His work, your feet to walk a consecrated path. He is aligning your physical reality with the spiritual destiny He wrote for you before the dawn of time. This is why you feel so different, so set apart. You look at the world, at the things that once captivated you, the fleeting entertainments, the shallow conversations, the relentless pursuit of more, and you feel a growing disconnect. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. Your spirit, now being tuned to the key of heaven, can no longer resonate with the noise of the earth. Your body, being prepared to house the living God, instinctively recoils from environments, habits, and even relationships that are not conducive to His presence. This can be a lonely, confusing experience. Others may not understand the change they see in you. They may call you distant or strange. Let them. You are in the midst of a holy transformation, a sacred chrysalis. The work He is doing is deep and internal now, so that the work He will do through you later will be powerful and external. Do not fear this sacred discomfort. Do not rush to explain it away. Instead, I invite you to become a quiet observer of your own becoming. When the wave of weariness washes over you, do not fight it. Ask, Lord, what are you asking me to release? When you feel that inner restlessness, do not distract yourself. Ask, Lord, where are you calling me to go? When your heart aches with an unnamed longing, do not try to fill it with worldly things. Ask, Lord, what space are you creating within me for yourself? You have asked for a sign, for a deeper walk with Him. This, my beloved friends, is His answer. He is showing Himself to you not in a burning bush, but in the very fiber of your being. He is making you new, right down to the cellular level. This is not just a feeling, it is a physical, tangible, holy reconstruction. You are being unmade from what you were, so you can be remade into who you were always meant to be. This is the first crucial step. It is the tilling of the soil before the seed of a magnificent purpose is planted. And though it feels unsettling, it is the truest and most loving grace you can ever receive. Embrace it. Welcome the divine ache. For it is the pain of new birth, the sacred prelude to a life of unimaginable purpose and divine intimacy. My dear friends, after the initial shock of this divine renovation begins to settle, a new and perhaps more challenging experience often follows. It is a profound sense of isolation, a feeling that you are slowly drifting away from the shores of the familiar world you once knew. The conversations that used to engage you now feel hollow. The places you once found comfort in now feel strangely foreign, even oppressive. You look at friends and loved ones, people you have walked with for years, and you sense a growing chasm, an invisible wall that you cannot explain and they cannot perceive. This, my friends, is one of the most misunderstood and painful stages of a deep spiritual calling. The world will call it depression. Your ego will call it alienation. But I am here to tell you, with the certainty born of 2 decades of walking with souls through this very valley, that what you are experiencing is not a rejection, but a consecration. You are learning the sacred art of separation. Imagine you were to receive a guest of unimaginable importance in your home, a king, a president, a holy saint. Would you simply open the door and let them into the clutter and chaos of your daily life? Of course not. You would embark on a furious, dedicated effort of preparation. You would clear out the junk, scrub the floors, throw open the windows to let in fresh air, and remove anything that was shabby, broken, or unworthy of your guest's presence. This is precisely the work God is doing within you. He, the King of Kings, desires to make your heart your very body, his dwelling place, a sanctuary where his presence can reside in fullness. But he cannot and will not share that sacred space with the noise, the clutter, and the idols of the world. So, in his infinite love and wisdom, he begins the process of clearing you out. He is not pushing you away from the world in anger. He is lovingly drawing you into the wilderness of the heart so he can have you to himself, to prepare you without distraction. This is the deeper reason for the changes you are feeling. The sudden aversion to certain foods, entertainments, or habits is not you becoming difficult or judgmental. It is your sanctified body beginning to reject what is spiritually unhealthy. Just as a finely tuned instrument is sensitive to the slightest impurity of sound, your soul, now being tuned to God, is becoming exquisitely sensitive to everything that is not of Him. The profound exhaustion you feel after certain social interactions is not a sign of social anxiety. It is your spirit telling you that you have just brushed up against something, an attitude, a form of gossip, a worldly ambition that is fundamentally incompatible with the holy work being done within you. Your inner temple is being cleansed, and your body is the faithful groundskeeper, alerting you to every piece of trash that someone is trying to track inside. Listen to that holy instinct. That inner recoiling is not you being unkind, it is your calling protecting itself. This process of separation will inevitably involve relationships. This is a difficult truth. There are people who were meant to be part of your journey for a season, but who cannot accompany you into the next. It is not a judgment on them or on you. It is simply a matter of different callings, different paths, divinely ordained. When God consecrates you for a specific task, He must also prune the branches in your life that do not bear the fruit He intends for you to carry. You will feel this as a painful pulling away. You may try to force the connection to go back to the way things were, but you will find it impossible. The ease is gone. The resonance has faded. To remain in that relationship or environment would require you to shrink yourself, to dim the light that God is igniting within you, and your soul will simply not allow it anymore. Loving someone sometimes means releasing them from the responsibility of having to understand your path, especially when they were never meant to walk it with you. I know this aches. I have sat with so many souls who weep, not because they have lost their love for others, but because they feel they are losing the ability to connect. It feels like a great and terrible loneliness. But I implore you to reframe what you are feeling. What feels like abandonment is actually divine protection. What feels like isolation is a sacred invitation into solitude with the one who loves you most. God is creating a holy boundary around you, not to keep love out, but to create a pure and unpolluted space where His love can be poured into you in its fullness. He is teaching you to draw your strength, your validation, and your sense of belonging not from the shifting sands of human opinion, but from the unshakable rock of His divine identity for you. You are not being left behind. You are being set apart for a purpose so significant that it requires your full, undivided attention. This is the cost of the calling. The world is loud, and God's voice is often a whisper. To hear it, He must first lead you away from the crowd. He must quiet your life so you can learn the rhythm of His heartbeat. This season of separation is not the end of your story. It is the sacred, silent, and absolutely necessary prologue to the great work He has prepared for you to do. My dear friends, as you learn to embrace the sacred silence born from separation, a new and powerful dynamic begins to unfold. The initial ache of transformation gives way to a feeling of profound substance, and the loneliness of separation is replaced by a sense of profound presence. It may feel like a weight, an intensity settling deep within your physical frame, as if the very density of your soul is increasing. You may feel a sacred unease, a restlessness that is no longer about escaping the world, but about an urgent, holy potential stirring within you, seeking its moment to emerge. Do not mistake this for a burden. You are not being weighed down, you are being filled. The temple has been cleansed, the vessel has been consecrated, and now, my beloved, you are beginning to bear the holy weight of glory. This is the very substance of your purpose, the reason for all the arduous preparation. What is this holy weight? It is not merely a set of tasks or a new ministry. It is the tangible, spiritual reality of what God is entrusting to you. You are becoming a carrier of His presence, a vessel for His plans. Within you, unseen by the world, you are now holding divine insights, sacred guidance, and even the keys to the freedom of others. Think of the Ark of the Covenant. It was just a box of acacia wood, but because it contained the very presence of God, it was so holy and so weighty in a spiritual sense that it had to be carried with extreme care by consecrated priests according to a divine protocol. You, my friend, are becoming a living ark. The unease you feel is the dawning awareness of the precious and powerful contents you now carry. Your physical body, in its wisdom, senses this. The deep sensations, the shifts in energy, the feeling of being full to bursting, this is your body learning how to bear the presence of the Almighty. It is a glorious, terrifying, and wonderful thing. Your purpose is not simply to do things for God. Your purpose is to reflect His presence to the world. And it is precisely because you carry something so precious that you have now become a battleground. This is a truth we must face with sober and courageous hearts. The forces of darkness are not troubled by those who make no difference. They do not waste their energy on empty vessels. But you are no longer empty. The spiritual opposition recognizes the light growing within you, often before you do. It sees the destiny you are stepping into, and it is terrified of the impact you will have. And so, it begins a targeted assault, not on your ideas or your finances, but on the very vessel that carries the promise, your body. The strange maladies that come from nowhere, the sudden waves of profound fatigue that have no medical explanation, the heaviness in your limbs, the fog in your mind, understand that these are often not random afflictions. They are the arrows of an unseen enemy aimed at the ark, seeking to convince you that you are too weak, too frail, too unwell to carry the glory of God. The goal is simple, to make you so worn out and focused on your own perceived frailty that you willingly set down the holy weight you were created to bear. But this is the great and beautiful irony of our faith, the secret that the enemy can never comprehend. Your feeling of weakness is not a disqualification, it is a prerequisite. The intensity of the battle is not a sign of your failure, but a confirmation of your calling. The struggle does not mean you have strayed from the path. It means you are standing exactly where God is doing something of timeless importance. Listen to me. God did not choose you because you were strong, flawless, or self-sufficient. He chose you because you were willing. And in that sacred space of your willing surrender, His power is made perfect. When you feel you cannot take another step, His Spirit will carry you. When your breath feels short, His Spirit is breathing life into you. When the darkness whispers, "You are not enough," His presence within you roars, "I am." Therefore, guard your physical being with intentionality, not out of fear, but out of a holy reverence for what it contains. Pay attention to what you allow into your mind, your heart, and your body. This is not legalism. It is spiritual strategy. You are preparing to carry a significant weight, and your body must be a dedicated and surrendered vessel. Refuse what weakens you, what distracts you, what pollutes the temple. Embrace what aligns you with the Spirit's leading. Yes, it may feel solitary, for not everyone will understand the silent battles you face or the precious weight you carry, but you are never alone. The suffering you feel is being woven into a sacred tapestry of redemption. The pressure is not crushing you, it is transforming you, like a lump of coal being compressed into a diamond. You have come too far to falter now. The ache was your preparation. The separation was your consecration. And this holy weight, this is your commission. My dear friends, faced with the profound weight of your calling and the unsettling reality of the spiritual opposition, the human instinct is to clench your fists. It is to brace yourself, to marshal your own strength, and to try and manage this overwhelming process through sheer force of will. You might try to impose your old routines on this new reality, to push through the fatigue, to rationalize the mystical experiences, and to maintain the pace the world has taught you is necessary for survival. And in doing so, you will discover the deepest exhaustion you have ever known. You will feel an internal friction, a grinding of gears, as your finite human effort strains against an infinite divine movement. This, my friends, is the critical turning point in your journey. It is here that God invites you to stop fighting, to stop managing, and to learn the most powerful and graceful of all spiritual arts, the holy rhythm of surrender. Surrender, in our world, is a dirty word. It implies weakness, defeat, giving up. But in the economy of grace, it is the ultimate act of strength and trust. It is the conscious decision to stop rowing against the powerful current of the Holy Spirit and to allow Him to carry you where He wills. God is not interested in what you can achieve for Him through your own frantic efforts. He is interested in what He can achieve through you once you finally get out of His way. And so, He begins to dismantle your reliance on your own strength. The very process that feels like it's breaking you down is actually God's mercy, designed to bring you to the end of yourself so you can discover the beginning of Him. He is lovingly, patiently deconstructing the frantic, hurried pace of the world that you have internalized and replacing it with His own sacred, eternal rhythm. This is why your entire being feels rearranged. It's why your energy levels have shifted so dramatically. You are not becoming lazy or inefficient. You are being recalibrated. In this new economy, resting is a holy act. Seeking quiet is a sacred pilgrimage. Standing still is a necessary posture of reception. Even your sleep is being sanctified. Have you found yourself waking in the deep of the night, not from anxiety, but with a strange sense of quiet alertness? Do not be troubled. This is not a sleep disorder, it is a divine appointment. The Spirit is resetting your internal clock to His time. In the stillness, when the world is quiet, He is inviting you into a deeper communion, sharing insights and whispering secrets to your spirit that cannot be heard above the din of the day. You are learning to live on Kairos time, God's appointed time, not just Chronos, the world's relentless ticking clock. Your very body is learning this new dance of surrender. It is no longer a mere vehicle for your ambition, but a consecrated partner in your spiritual journey. The unsettling feelings, the trembling, the aches, these are not signs of your body failing you. They are signs of your body releasing. It is letting go of years of stored tension, of worldly anxieties, of the cellular memory of past traumas. It is physically yielding to the Spirit's work. You might feel a profound need to stretch, to breathe more deeply, to move your body in gentle, intuitive ways. This is your physical form ceasing its resistance and beginning to actively participate in its own transformation. It is a holy clearing, making more room for His presence to dwell not just in your spirit, but in your very tissues and bones. So I ask you, do not resist this process. Allow the transformation to unfold in its own time. When you feel you are losing strength, understand that your old, brittle capacity is not draining away. Rather, God is building a new, more resilient capacity within you. The internal struggle you feel is not you losing a battle. It is the feeling of your entire being undergoing a divine realignment. You have asked God to use you. Now, He is making you usable. What lies ahead requires you to be not just willing in spirit, but capable in your entire being, and He is lovingly making you capable. This requires a deep and abiding trust. It is letting go of the need to understand every step. It is releasing the desire to control the outcome. It is choosing to walk with Him in the quiet rhythm of moment-by-moment surrender, trusting that the One who began this good work in you will see it through to its glorious completion. This is not defeat. This is how you win the war. My dear friends, as you begin to practice the sacred art of surrender, you will find yourself entering a new and profoundly vulnerable space. The rhythm of your life slows, the noise of the world recedes, and in the quiet that follows, you may feel as though you are not just being changed, but being completely taken apart. It can feel like an internal dissolving, as if the very structure of your personality, your habits, and your long-held beliefs are turning to dust. You might look in the mirror and fail to recognize the person staring back. This is perhaps the most frightening stage of all, for it feels not like renovation, but like demolition. And that is precisely what it is. But I implore you, do not be afraid. You are not witnessing an ending. You are standing on the holy ground of a divine reconstruction, and for the master builder to erect a structure that can reach to the heavens, he must first tear down the faulty foundation of the old house. God is not a handyman who simply patches up cracks and applies a fresh coat of paint to a condemned building. His work is far more radical, far more loving than that. He is an architect of new creations. He sees the magnificent temple He designed you to be, and He knows that the foundation laid by the world, by past hurts, and by your own self-reliant efforts is utterly insufficient to bear the weight of the glory He intends for you to carry. So, with the tender precision of a master craftsman, He begins to dismantle you. This is not a punishment, it is the highest form of mercy. He is not simply repairing what was damaged, He is laying a new and unshakable foundation. What feels like you are falling apart is, in reality, you being lovingly unmade, so that you can be truly and gloriously remade. This unmaking is why so much from your past may be coming to the surface. Old wounds you thought were healed suddenly ache anew. Difficult memories and long-forgotten feelings rise up unbidden. You may even feel a deep ancestral sorrow, a weight that you sense is not entirely your own. This is not a regression, this is a divine excavation. The Holy Spirit is moving through the deepest chambers of your heart, gently bringing into the light all the hidden things that have been preventing your complete freedom and wholeness. The bitterness, the trauma, the fear, the shame. He is even touching and healing the inherited wounds, the generational patterns of hardship and sin that have been passed down to you. He does not bring these things up to shame you, but to lovingly remove them from you forever. Each tear you shed, each tremor of released grief, is part of a holy cleansing, washing the foundation clean for the new construction. Your body, the faithful recorder of your life's entire history, is the primary site of this demolition. The sudden sensitivities, the feeling that small stresses are now overwhelming, the rawness you feel, this is not you becoming weaker. It is you becoming more open, more tender, as the protective walls you built around your heart are finally being taken down. These walls may have kept you safe in past seasons, but they have also kept the fullness of God's love out. To be rebuilt, you must first be made open, and this openness, while it feels vulnerable, does not make you fragile. It makes you authentic. It brings you back to the core of the person God created you to be, wholly and utterly dependent on Him, breathing with His Spirit, ready for His hand to lead you. And here is the most beautiful truth of all. This holy demolition is not just for you. The challenging work you are enduring has a purpose that extends far beyond your own healing. As God heals and frees you, you become a vessel of healing and freedom for others. As you walk through this process, you are carving out a path that will make the journey easier for those who follow. The deep work God is doing in you, breaking generational curses, healing profound wounds, establishing a new foundation of trust, is creating a safe place, a spiritual sanctuary for those around you. Every bit of ground you gain in your own soul is conquered territory for the kingdom of God. Your pain, when surrendered to Him, is being transformed into a wellspring of life for a thirsty world. So when you are in the dust and the rubble, feeling exposed and undone, remember this: you are not a ruin. You are a construction site. And what is being built within you will one day be a glorious cathedral, a place where others will come to find shelter, to find hope, and to encounter the living God who dwells within you. My dear friends, after the long and arduous night of demolition and reconstruction, a new morning begins to break. The dust of the old self settles, and in its place, a profound and holy stillness emerges. It is not the silence of emptiness, but the deep, resonant peace of a temple now rightly inhabited. The frantic striving has ceased. The internal struggle has given way to a quiet harmony. This is the dawn you have been prepared for, The aches, the separation, the weight, the surrender, the breaking, all of it was leading to this moment. You have been through the fire of transformation, and what remains is not ash, but purified gold. You are not just a repaired version of your old self. You are a new creation, and your life from this moment forward is about learning to walk in the glorious light of this new day. From this new vantage point, the entire world begins to look different. It is as if a veil has been lifted from your eyes, and you are seeing with a clarity you have never known. There is a new sharpness to your thoughts and a deep, intuitive knowing in your spirit that transcends mere logic. You can discern what is of God and what is not, with a quiet certainty that requires no external validation. The tension in your body will begin to decrease, the inner unrest will calm, and the profound weariness will finally fade, replaced not by a manic energy, but by a deep, steady, and resilient strength that comes from being perfectly aligned with your Creator. Your body, once a battleground of transformation, is now settling into the holy rhythm it was always designed for. It is no longer a container of distress, but a conduit of His peace. Your very presence in the world now becomes your ministry. You may find you speak less, yet your words carry more weight. You may do less, yet your actions have a greater impact. This is because you are no longer operating from your own limited resources, but from the overflow of the divine presence that fills you. People will be drawn to you, not for your charisma or your accomplishments, but for the quiet peace and solid ground they sense within you. They may not be able to name it, but they will feel the presence of God when they are near you. You will not need to explain the changes in your life, for your very being has become the testimony. The quiet evidence of God's work in your physical and spiritual demeanor will speak more eloquently than any sermon you could ever preach. You will no longer feel the anxious need to justify your choices, your need for solitude, in your turning away from the superficial, because you will be living from a place of deep and authentic alignment with your God-given purpose. This, my friends, is the life you were made for. It is a journey that continues, one step at a time, one choice at a time, choosing His presence over worldly comfort, choosing His purpose over your own impulses. The major reconstruction may be complete, but the master artist will spend the rest of your days adorning the temple, adding beauty and depth, and continuing to reveal more of Himself to you. Do not long for the past you have left behind. It was a necessary part of the story, but it is not your home. Your home is here, now, in this new reality, in this sacred arrangement He has orchestrated for your life. So, walk forward in courage and in peace. Let your life be a reflection of the sacred work that has been done within you. You were chosen for this time. You have been prepared, consecrated, filled, and rebuilt for a purpose far greater than you can yet imagine. You are a vessel of His presence, a beacon of His hope, and a living testament to His relentless, redeeming, and transformative love. The journey may have been arduous, but behold, the new has come. Walk in it, breathe it in, and let your very existence be an unending prayer of thanksgiving to the God who saw the angel in the marble and lovingly chiseled you free.